Earlier on this documentary, My Physiology, My Shame, Mr. Akpalu and his family have been telling me about efforts made over the years to transform his hermaphrodite children.
One of my relatives known as Thomas Akpalu said to organize some organization like Professional Link of Ghana, Spintex Road, Brongate, at Accra, led me to hospital. So I don't know, they don't have anything to offer me to go to transform them into one masculine gender. That is my aim for that. But because of financial constraint.
In the concluding part, I speak to a gynecologist on the condition and what can be done about it. The children have also been telling me more on the experiences as hermaphrodites and what their expectations are in order to change their destinies. Jose is the oldest among them in the village. His biggest fear is to discover that his condition is no longer a secret and neighbors will discuss him publicly.
If they know about it and if they know about it and they are not how they show me sympathy, I can recommend that. I can tell them to support me.
And if they don't show sympathy?
If they don't show sympathy, and that means I can't stay in this village.
What do you want to become in the future?
I want to be a lawyer. This 5. This is 97.
So, how do they cope at school? Do they have the peace of mind to study? I set out to find out from the community school where one of the children goes to. This is Mafi Ajokwe DAJHS, where one of Mr. Akpalu's children's schools, precisely Jiwonu, is in JHS 1. Today we are fortunate enough to have the headmaster around, though the school is currently on vacation. He's in to do some checks on some documents. I want to go in and find out from him his assessment of Jiwonu academically.
No, he's a very good guy, very good in academic work, and outside academic work he's also very good. Yeah.
If you see him among his friends on the compound and even in the classroom, how sociable is he?
Yeah, he always likes sharing ideas in the classroom. Whenever an assignment is being given to them, he likes cooperation.
Assuming you were supposed to give a guidance on the path of career he should choose, what would you advise? What would be your...
Yeah, actually, he likes BDT, which is basic design and technology. In a basic design technology, we have pre-technical skills. So he likes pre-technical skills. So I will advise him to become a construction engineer in future.
So far, father, mother, children are clueless as to the cause of the predicament on their hands. But maybe there could be some historical undertones. So then, Mr. Akpalu, the father, takes us to a family elder who will be telling us more as to how this came to be on the family.
Okay. O nyame nkutara le pomie me. Kake edoleki ye menya me no bi de ka evaku enye pastor Enoch ya mi geology ake ke doctor ba pelanwa gacho eme doctor e pelanwa enye gudugbe
ma de pastor Enoch de enwore de le na na abeta tenti afi over geology awe do jiku
do ko jiku male ta tenti o male na nenti
nuka wa fi ko
But could there be something medically amiss, and can something be done about it for them? For some answers, I visit the Shai Osudoku District Hospital at Dodowa in the Eastern Region. Here, I meet a recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award in Maternal Health in Ghana, Dr. Kennedy Brightson. Dr. Bryson is the medical superintendent at this hospital. He sees and handles a number of these cases occasionally. The last case was at the beginning of the year. He shares that experience with me.
When I looked at the patient sitting right in front of me, I knew that I was talking to a boy. You understand?
Okay.
From the features and the... So what I had to examine, he was in the female clothing. So I went to examine. Then I realized that, hey, she was wearing beads. The person was wearing beads.
Okay.
And then there was this penis sitting there. And then there was a vagina as well. And what they describe as the balls were the testicles that were not properly developed. You understand? So those were the balls they were referring to. They also came because the girl had passed, the person had passed the BEC, okay, and is going to a girls' school. I'm not mentioning schools here,
Yeah.
It's going to a girls' school. So then, what next? Is the person going to bath with the other girls in the bathroom when the penis was there? And so when I asked them, they thought that, there are some women who have quite a little bit bigger clitoris. So they were taking that big penis as a clitoris. Boarding house was going to be a challenge because that person was going to live among other girls who already had their breast developed and had no penis, but have their vagina and things like that. Now, the challenge here was to decide which sexual orientation the person must be put to. Should the vagina be closed? Should plastic surgery be done for that person now to be regarded as a boy? Or should plastic surgery be done for the person to toe the line of a girl? It's a very critical decision in the lifetime of an intersex. They have trained the person as a girl. And I could see that the person was wearing beads, but the physical appearance looks more boyish, So they would prefer that the female line is towed so that the person can go to the girls' school. The person did well at the BEC and got on to the good schools, So can go to the girls' school that gave the person the admission. So we decided. So I spoke with my boss before, and then he also said, well, he's also contacting plastic surgery, where the surgery will be done, So they plan, I think the surgery was done, and then now they have to treat the person to get breast. So put on hormones and things, and then I think she's now looking very beautiful.
And it was a successful
Yeah.
So what exactly is the cause of this condition? Dr. Bryson explains.
There are genetic manipulations that occur, and then out of those manipulations, we can have the sperms that carry the S chromosome and the sperms that carry the Y chromosome and things like that. Sometimes there are defects in the carriage of those chromosomes, and then you begin to have, excuse me, you begin to have a lot more chromosomes than necessary, and then it ends up in some of these congenital anomalies.
Who is a hermaphrodite?
Hermaphrodite, probably I think the first thing is to understand what that terminology actually means. Hermaphrodite. Why do we use hermaphrodites in our scheme of things? You know, it's actually an ancient Greek word that was used. You know, because somebody married another person in ancient Greek, and they gave birth to, a child that had certain features, and some Greek goddess names, and all these things came together, and the word hermaphroditus. Hermaphroditus.
Meaning?
And then we'll go on to explain. And then the word hermaphrodite came. But hermaphrodite is normal in certain species of organisms. Before we come to humans, I need to clarify this, that we have plants that are hermaphrodites, and we have organisms that are hermaphrodites. Most of the invertebrates, you know what vertebrates are. You remember
the little science I did in my secondary school. Yeah.
Exactly. Like snail, and then they are hermaphrodites. If you take a lot of these worms, and earthworms, for instance, they are also hermaphrodites. What it simply means that those organisms have both the male and the female reproductive structures in one organism. You understand?
I see.
So one organism has male and female structures, reproductive structures. This has been imported to apply to humans as well. That's a human being that has both male and female reproductive structures is referred to as hermaphrodite. But socioculturally, the terminology does not befit the human status. It does not befit the human status.
Right.
So, but socioculturally, the terminology does not befit human status. So, practically, it has been changed. We do not necessarily refer to that human being that has that ambiguous sexual characters or features as a hermaphrodite, but we rather say an intersexual.
The effect on the life of the intersex, thus the hermaphrodite, is a complicated one. Dr. Bryson is very blunt on this.
First of all, if we convert this person into a man, the penis there cannot perform the functions that it's supposed to do. And that's it's going to be traumatic in life. The other way around too is that when we convert the person into a woman, their ability to have children is also compromised. So, but they felt that it is better for the person to become a woman and not have children, but can have sex, and this can have a penile-vaginal relationship, and that will be fine, than being a man with a penis that is non-functional. You understand? So, as to whether there is hope or not, depends on the sexual orientation that the child, him or herself, or the person would like to toe, or what the parents think that they should do for that person. In most cases, MFA, towing the line of a woman is a bit more less stressful than towing.
Even if I'm seeing you appearing like a man like this, everything about you, your features, your
Yeah,
voice,
I'll change.
You will change.
Yes, you'll change. You'll be treated, and you will change, and you look like a.
Don't
forget
have breasts. The
you
elders,
get your breasts.
You get the breast.
Yeah, don't forget that there are transsexuals who change from male to female entirely.
Okay.
And then.
Because in this circumstance, the eldest who is 18 cannot use his penis. He can't urinate.
Yes, exactly what I. In some cases, it looks like what you call a hypospadia.
These effects are evident in the lives of these 6 siblings as they keep to themselves and always appear unhappy and pensive, ostensibly from the stigma and worries about what the future holds for them. Dr. Bryson assures all hope is not lost. The defects can be corrected through surgery.
The hole where the urine will come through, you will not even see it at the tip of the penis.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You see, you will not see it at the tip of the penis like this. Okay. This is how the penis is, you know. I mean,
yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah,
so you know, so but we've sectioned it, we've cut it into 2, okay. And we are looking at it from the other side. So this is how it looks like. You understand? And then that is where the urine passes. That's the bladder. The bladder is here. Then the urine passes this way and then comes out. In that person's case, this hole that you are seeing, this tube, did not continue into the end of the penis.
No.
It just opened somewhere there. In between, like that of a woman. You understand?
Right.
So like that of a woman.
Right.
And that is where...
the challenge is.
Yeah, that's where the challenge is. I thought I had one here that I could show you.
For the female.
But yeah, for the female.
Okay.
But it's not too clear for you to see.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So
so in that case, it means that there's a possibility that they could have, if they could have a womb.
Yes, there's a possibility.
Even though they.
Yeah, but it cannot be used for.
It cannot be used for its purpose.
Yes.
Okay.
So for such conditions, usually, if you toe the line of the female sex,
it's easier.
Yes, because those congenital testicular tissues, those things that are testicles but they are tiny there, they are removed. You understand? And then the penis is kind of amputated. And then you have a clear-looking vagina now.
That would be a big challenge, you know. Like I was explaining to you, the community, everybody knows them as boys. Everybody knows that this is a man. And if by advice, medical advice, they should go by your decision, or they should toe the line of a female if it should come to that. How are they going to deal with that?
So that is a socio-cultural implication I was talking of, that it becomes difficult to handle. Culturally and socially, they have been trained as boys. So gender-wise.
But this has its own implication, which the individual, family, and society must be prepared to deal with. He, however, is positive about the situation with lots of encouragement.
So, importantly, the intersex person must understand that all is not lost. There is still hope for survival. There is still hope to live in this world and go about your life normally. There is still hope to do everything you want to do. There is still hope to go to school, to do everything. There is hope for you. So being an intersex is not a life sentence. that you are condemned to death, or you are condemned to perpetual isolation. No. The only thing is that your reproductive structures have challenges, and that you may not be able to do what other boys or girls are doing. But apart from that, what you have to know is that in this world, there are people who have decided that they will never have sex in life. There are people like that.
Yeah.
And there are people who have also decided they will never have children in life. And they are leading their normal lives. They are fine. They are okay. So just think, if you think about yourself as an intersex, think that there are people who have decided to toe a certain line that you will be towing later on in life.
Yes.
And then they are fine.
That one crime might not necessarily be out of your personal decision.
Yes,
it
yes.
was something that
Yes.
just happened.
Yes,
to you.
and you did not decide
No, you didn't
that
decide.
you wanted to be an intersex.
No.
You did not take that decision to be an intersex. You also did not ask God to create you as an intersex. Things happened beyond the control of everybody within your community, your parents, beyond your control. It happened at the minutest level of human activity, which is not under their control. And then as a result of that, you came into existence. So you don't have to continuously blame yourself. Don't blame yourself at all. If you are a boy, you can continue playing your football. You can continue doing your everything. You can continue doing your farming. You can continue going to school. If they think that they cannot be in the boarding house, they can stay at home and attend school. Being in the boarding house is not compulsory. You can be a day student, you understand. But then the medical intervention, the surgical interventions must come in early so that they can also enjoy boarding house and enjoy all other things that their peers.
But as a doctor, how true is it that this could be a curse?
Emefa, you see, the challenge we have in this country, or in our part of the world, the third world, is that when we see things, we don't think scientifically. We think spiritually first. Anything at all that we see as Ghanaians, we refuse to go the scientific way. We go the spiritual way.
But isn't it fair? Isn't that fair because of the kind of people we are?
Yes, but you see, that is why we are not progressively dynamic in our development. Because the Bible even says it, that God said, for the lack of knowledge, my people perish. Don't forget that God did not say that for the lack of knowledge, Satan's people perish.
No, it's everybody.
He said, yes, he said, my own people, they perish. So you see, you can be a Christian, and if you don't have knowledge, you perish stupidly. You understand? So the point here is that anything that we do not understand as a people, we try to give it a spiritual understanding. We don't explore the scientific reasoning behind it. And that is why in every society, we tend to sometimes you are even regarded as a curse. There are babies that, I can show you one baby here that I delivered. And the baby had a congenital anomaly. Part of the body is black and part is white. I'll show the picture to you. And the husband comes and it's like, this is satanic. This is evil. And the pastor comes in and he said, hey, this is the devil that has been, And then the woman doesn't want to take the child home.
28 years ago, when Mr. Akpalo's wife Beatrice began delivering children with 2 sex organs, the family, father, mother, and community have done all they can medically and spiritually to turn the destinies of their children around and save the image and dignity of this family, but to no avail.
I'm thinking about my departure from this earth. I and my wife, I don't know what it should be. That is my main problem.
Jeremy wants to be a pastor. Jose wants to be a lawyer. Sichupe wants to be a journalist. and Kafui, a technician. However, these children hold fears that they can never achieve these dreams because it's difficult for them to connect and interact with other people.
It is affecting me that I don't, let's say, my friend and I cannot stay together and discuss anything.
Do your friends know about it?
No.
Why?
I don't tell them, but I threaten to tell them. I know they will not show any sympathy.
There is, however, a silent but strong prayer within the innermost part of these children and their parents that help will someday show up, for them to smile and embrace these most cherished ambitions. My name is Emafa Ewena Atiamwa Elino, Volta Region, Joy News.